Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to another nighttime pouring episode. We have HOA the Magnificent here in the studio with us with a cast on his foot. So we're going to try this and see how it goes. I don't think they can see you. Maybe they could. He's very limber, it's amazing. Anyways, last week we were doing our Tipsy Piggy recipe using this Little Piggy pigments and dispersing them in alcohol and then mixing them with mix pour. And several of you have asked for other recipes because you can't get mixed in other places. And so tonight we are going to be trying Liquitex Gloss Medium and Floetrol with our Tipsy Piggy recipe. So meaning what I'm going to do is disperse the pigments in alcohol, and then I'm mixing them with my pouring medium of Liquitex Gloss Medium and Floetrol together, and then I put that into the cup with the piggies in there and stirred it up. So let's get started. I'll show you what everything is. First, this is a 20 by 20 inch gallery wrap canvas from Artist Loft. I have taped the back and put the push pins in and painted my sides and edges with my Payne's gray. I really like using the last little bits of leftover inside my tub to paint the sides and edges. I really feel like that's getting the most bang for my buck out of that little bit of paint that's left in there, and it's awesome. So, okay, first thing we're doing, we are using this beautiful color again, DecoArt Color Shift. This is the one that we used in Cinnamon Swirl. We did a ring pour with this little piggy in cinnamon, and it was absolutely amazing. So this one is mixed just with, I did not put any alcohol in this. This is Liquitex Gloss Medium and Floetrol. Not real thick, leaving a mound on a mound, and then sinking into itself. So that's Dragon Flash. Okay, next one we are using is one of my favorites also. This one is Prussian Blue from Golden. Nice, beautiful, deep color. This is Liquitex Gloss Medium and Floetrol in here. This one's a smidge thicker than the other one, but it'll be all right. Okay, and now we get into the piggies. First one we are using is one I haven't used on camera before. This is King of Payne, which is beautiful, and it's P-A-Y-N-E, like Payne's gray. So it's a Payne's gray color. And this one was a scoop of the piggies, about 3/4 of a teaspoon, and about 1.5 teaspoons of alcohol. And I put the piggies into the alcohol and I stirred it up real good until it was like a slurry, which is like when you put cornstarch in your stew and stuff and to thick it up. So here we go. This is King of Payne. Slight mound before it sinks. Nothing is super thick tonight because my Floetrol is not very thick. And this is one of the reasons that I actually like mixed pour, is because consistency wise it's always thick. Floetrol, sometimes it's super thick, sometimes it's super thin, sometimes you have a thick bottle and then it's a hot afternoon and now you have a thin bottle. So that's one of the things that drives me a little bit crazy about Floetrol. So that's King of Payne. And then the other piggies we are using, I started out with Lilypad, which is so pretty. It's a beautiful slight springtimey green, very, very soft. And I wanted a little bit more depth and a little bit of gold, so I added some asparagus to it. So this is Lilypad and asparagus mixed, which is a very pretty color. A little bit of a gold shift on there from the asparagus. Beautiful stuff. Not super, super thick. Again, this was the piggies dispersed in alcohol, and then I had mixed the Liquitex and the Floetrol together, and then I poured the combination in here. Doing it again though, I think I might use the Liquitex, so disperse them in the alcohol and then add the Liquitex and stir them up with that and then add the Floetrol, because I felt like I had a lot of Floetrol in these and it thinned them out more than I needed them to be. So I would rather add the Floetrol at the end, just like in my how I mix my paint video. I told you guys I can't give you an exact number of ounces to use a Floetrol because it depends on how thick or thin your Floetrol is. If your Floetrol is very thin, don't use a lot, you know. Okay, then we have our usual suspects, our DecoArt Americana Decor Metallics and Satin Enamels, 24 karat gold and pure white. There is nothing else in that pure white today, it's just the DecoArt, because that was the last little bit in the rest of the tub. So, okay, we're also going to use my handy dandy split cup from the Paint Pour store, which I really, really like. Okay, so I have 6 colors and 5 chambers. But that's okay, because I have a plan. Okay, So of this cup, the two sides are deeper and a little bit wider, so there's more of that, and the center is actually the narrowest one. So I think I'm going to put my gold, no I'm not. I had a plan. I did. Okay.
Right out your head.
Yeah, right? Okay, I'm going to put the Payne's Gray on one side. Okay. And then we're going to put that Dragon Flash next to that. Okay. Now we're going to go, we're going to alternate the white and the gold in the middle. So I'm going to put a little bit of white.
Gale's going off outside.
Gale has been going off all day, man. It was crazy. Baxter didn't even want to go outside. It was so windy. A little bit of gold. And a little bit of white. And a little bit more gold. And a little bit more white on top. Okay. And now we're going to use that beautiful Asparagus Lilypad color. Can you guess what I'm going to put on the image, right?
Yep.
Prussian Blue. Okay. Alrighty. So, I have been doing some experiments to figure out other recipes for you guys in case you can't get mix. My good friend Kelly Stoll, who has a channel called Feral Art, has been a huge help. She actually did several experiments where she tested a whole bunch of mediums and tested to see how they reacted with the alcohol and the piggies mixed together. And I can tell you guys, Floetrol does not like alcohol. So several of you have asked me if you can do this recipe with the, instead of using mix, with using just Floetrol. No, it won't work. Floetrol does not like alcohol. So if you have some sort of binder in there, in this case the Liquitex Gloss medium, and you mix the gloss medium with the piggies and the alcohol, and then you add the Floetrol, you'll have a much better chance of success, especially if you don't use as much Floetrol as you normally would. So don't try it with just Floetrol and tell me it didn't work, because I already know that. We are trying to find other things that will work for you. There was one thing that we had found that we were very excited about, but then it didn't quite work. So I think we need to play with this a little bit more. But thank you so much to Kelly Stoll for all your help and your experimenting with me. I appreciate you. I love you a lot, girl. Okay, so we're going to take this off. Should we try a... See, here's the thing. I kind of want to do a ring pour, but I don't think everything is very thick. So that makes me think that we should do a straight pour, because when you're doing a ring pour, you want your paint thicker to be able to hold the shape of the lines. If everything we're using is kind of thinner, I'm already using a split cup to keep the colors from blending. So I think what we need to do is maybe a straight pour or a wandering straight pour. Let's see. I think I'm going to take some of my gold, and I'm just going to kind of meander around a little bit where I might want to pour the cup. So that's going to sort of be our runway. All right, and we're going to just do a wandering straight pour. And I think I'm going to start over here. Are you ready, husband of awesomeness?
Yes, madam.
Here we go. Very pretty. It's rolling over itself a little bit over here. Now we're getting into some of that gold.
That's how the gold changed to white and then back again.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, we're going to go this way again. Look at See, I'm not getting fingerlings because I'm not doing it straight up and down. I'm kind of 3/4. You're gonna stop there.
So much
A couple of drips.
Said so much for meandering.
Well, spend it to my madness. Okay, but this is actually looking very pretty. I like the Payne's gray with the dragon flash and the white in there and the gold, and I love that Prussian blue with that Asparagus-y Lilypad color. That's pretty cool. Okay, I have some drips here. That's actually kind of neat. It's black with like this sort of green metallic shift on it, kind of. This is just what I've scraped off my table. And I'm going to pour this around. Should we spread out the gold first, do you think? Nah. Just go for it. Okay. Take some inspiration from our sweet Sarah Mac and wreck this a little bit. She's been doing these beautiful loop-de-loops and swirly swirls, and they're so pretty. Let's do some of those. Okay. That's pretty. Okay, let's tilt this out. Obviously all the weight of the paint is up here, so we're going to try to disperse it. And it's going to move fast because it's thin paint and because there's a flow extender around there. So right now we're just going to kind of meander. And the goal right now is to stretch out the paint. See, it's still rolling up itself there a little bit. That's interesting. I'm going to go back this way now. This is going to be weird. But that's okay. We like weird sometimes. I'm going to take that to the corner and just barely go off. Bring it back down a little bit, and then we're going to go down this way, as my friend Jeremy says. Okay, off the edge there. Bring this down this way. Center again. I'm going to go off this edge. And then we're going to let that side slide over. Move some of these down a little bit. It's funny, thin paint moves so much differently than the thick paint. With the thick paint, I kind of feel like we're dancing together. The thin paint, I feel like I'm chasing it.
Just wrangling it.
Man handling, woman handling it.
Woman up.
So what I'm doing is tilting off a little bit around the edges to try to keep the center composition intact more. think, HOA?
It's cool. I like what that asparagus-y color is doing.
Yeah. I don't know if there's too many colors in there. Interestingly. Which one do you like better, the Payne's Gray or the Prussian Blue?
I like the Prussian better.
Yeah, me too, Tom. I think I want to pour it again. I think I'm going to leave out the Payne's this time. And I also think I'm not going to use the split cup. I'm just going to layer it. So I'm going to tilt off some of this extra. Because there's still a lot of paint on here. Oh look, pearl cells. And we're getting these pearl cells up here on the top edge because the paint is thin. It's being stretched very thin. Oh, wait a minute. This looks kind of neat now. So all I have to do is say I want to pour it again, and then it starts to... Oh, okay. No, wait. She's serious.
That jelly roll cloud in there.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know if I want to pour it again. I think I kind of like it now.
And successfully intimidated it.
Made it snap into shape. This is kind of pretty. Really like what's happening over here on this corner. It's like a very thin layer of the Prussian Blue, and then there's these really cool little cells popping up through there. Pearl pour style. I'm going to torch this in a minute. The Payne's Gray is actually really interesting, and I really like it with the white and that dragon flash. And I love these like veins. I do like this very soft, poofy, cloudy.
Yeah, for sure.
With the asparagus and the dragon flash in there and the white. And this is really pretty, this like little edge. It's very, very cool.
I bet you that King of Payne's going to surprise you.
Oh, I know it's going to surprise me because it's this little piggy pigment. All of the piggies I've used have been really, really pretty and just beautiful. Let's torch this. So, this is our experiment testing Liquitex Gloss Medium and Floetrol in the Tipsy Piggy Recipe, dispersing the pigments in alcohol and then adding the pouring medium. I would love it if you guys could give it a try, and definitely try it with other mediums that you happen to have and see how it goes. I will tell you, Floetrol does not work. So, add some binder. Add some pouring medium, add something that's got some binders to it before you put your Floetrol in, and let me know how it goes. I will show you this one when it's dry. It's looking pretty cool though. I do see a lot of beautiful sparkle and shimmer right in here on top of that Prussian Blue. Okay, so this is one other thing I want to talk to you guys about using this Little Piggies. They have mica powder in them to make them sparkly. If they were solid opaque colors, the mica would not show very much. So most of them are pretty transparent. So when you're using the piggies, try to layer them in between opaque tube paints. For example, the Prussian Blue is an opaque tube paint that you can actually see the layers of the piggies on top of it, like right in here and in here. And the white is opaque, so we see the layers of the asparagus on top of the piggies, on top of the white. The dragon flash is also opaque, so we're seeing the Payne's Gray on top of that. So when you're layering your cups and using this Little Piggies, don't use all piggies, first of all, because you're not going to get that opacity and you're going to get something blending. Actually, I have one to show you guys that is a very good example of that. Very pretty, but these are all piggies. And when it doesn't have anything opaque to pop against, you lose a lot of that really cool definition. Whereas if you layer them, that's cool, if you layer them with opaques, so like an opaque and then two piggies and then an opaque and two piggies, you're going to get a much better result than if you just use all piggies. So okay, this is pretty cool. I like it a lot. I will show you guys when it's dry. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you to HOA for coming down to the studio on his knee scooter with his cast. He got staples taken out today. How many were there total? I didn't count, did you?
No, I didn't.
Like 15 maybe? Something like that?
More than that.
Really?
Yeah.
And he's got a
Like
cast.
25.
But he's doing really, really well. He's got one of those knee scooters, so thinks he's Evel Knievel. So we'll be back in just a moment. I'll show you when it's dry. Thanks for being here, guys. Have a great night. Okay, so this is actually the next day. Some things happened. Unfortunately, we got some cracking, and kind of bummed because I was actually really excited about seeing how this one would dry. Composition wise, I think it turned out really cool. I love what the Satin Enamels did. Unfortunately, I think that the Satin Enamels is the culprit that caused this cracking in here, because I didn't mix the Satin Enamels with anything. Usually I use Amsterdam Titanium White with the Satin Enamels, and I did not this time. So maybe it was just a little bit thick, and it's been very windy here, and it dried in front of a window. But that's usually where all my stuff dries, and I usually don't get cracking. So, observations from this one. I do love the look of the piggies. There's no sun today, so it's not sparkly, but you can see that beautiful layering and the iridescence on there. The cracking bums me out, but this corner is so pretty. I hear Mr. Baxter approaching. But the other thing that I think that would have helped is I added actually quite a bit of Liquitex to this, and I think I maybe added a little bit too much. So doing it again next time, instead of mixing my Liquitex and Floetrol together first, I'm just going to add the piggies to the alcohol and then put some Liquitex in there and then add some Floetrol, rather than mixing the Liquitex and Floetrol first and then adding it to the piggies. So I'm a little bummed about this one. It's also possible my base coat could have been a little thick, but it's a bummer. Or it dried too fast. I mean, it was very, very windy, and we did pour this last night, and this is the next day, and it's dry. So a couple different things. But I will try this one more time with the Liquitex and Floetrol and see if we get a better result to show you guys. But again, I encourage you guys to go play with it. If you want to use the piggies, just disperse them in some alcohol and then add your favorite pouring medium with binders in it. It will not work with just Floetrol. So, just putting that out there. Thanks for being here with us, you guys. I really do appreciate you all so much. Thank you for all your well wishes for HOA. He appreciates you a lot too, and we love you a lot. We'll see you guys real soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.